They said the Golden Boy Promotions deal, at least based on the quote unquote inside sources, they said the deal is only for 2 years. Matchroom's deal is a 5-year deal, I believe. That kind of tells you, that kind of tells you how they really feel. Y'all just struck a deal, right? Why does Matchroom get a 5-year deal? Why does Matchroom get a 5-year deal? And why does Golden Boy get a 2-year deal? You know what I mean? The homie Steve Kim sent me a excerpt from his Substack. Kind of confirmation of what I told you. The Substack reads, in terms of the number of shows, Eric Gomez told me, that's the beautiful thing, it's at our discretion. There's a budget we have to work with, and it's going to be on a show-by-show basis, which is what I've been telling y'all. Show-by-show basis. So, if it is the right fight, the fight they want, the fight we want to put together, they'll come out. So it's not really a number of dates, it's a budget, and we control that. Gomez says that their upcoming dates outside of May 2nd are being discussed, and that more news will come out shortly. What that communicates to me, that it's not a set number of dates, is that it's less money than you were getting before. It is less money than you were getting before, but they're letting you control it. They're letting you decide how much of that money you want to use for a given show. But as stated, it communicates to me what I thought. Yo, Golden Boy don't got that much to offer. We don't really want them to go somewhere else because then they become competition for us. So we'll keep them here, but we're not gonna, it ain't gonna be the same arrangement as before. That's kind of what I mean, like that's what I thought. It's not a lot there for you to support. It's not a lot there for you to pay for. So they gave him a budget, they'll let him control it. Real talk, what it do? Should Virgil feel dumb? Well, he wasn't in the poster, Marty. That's weird. That's suspicious. That's weird. He wasn't in the poster. In all them Golden Boy Promotions posters announcing a new deal, Virgil wasn't in them shits. I'm just bouncing ideas around, Marty. Check it out. What if they said, let Virgil go and we'll give you a new deal? What if they said that? Puerto Rico, que lo que es mi niño? Que tú haces aquí, mi niño? Nena! Right? Why was Virgil not in the poster but Jaime Munguia was? Let me pull up the poster in case y'all don't believe me. Y'all think I'll be playing. I don't be playing with y'all. It's not a game out here. It's not a motherfucking game. Hold on, my guy. I got you right now. It's not a motherfucking game out here. But to show y'all. If you look on that poster, you're going to see a lot of people, but you're not going to see Virgil Ortiz. Mr. Calderon said the zone treating Golden Boy like a junkie. They want to front an 8-ball. Bro, they treating Golden Boy like a side chick. They married the Matchroom. They married the Queensbury. Golden Boy is a side chick. Yeah, I only see you on weekends, ma. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Virgil not in that picture, man. You could see Bektamir Melenkuziev, Oscar Colazo, Gabby, Brian. You could see motherfucking Duarte. You even see Munguia over there. You could see Rocha, Barboza, Zerto. You could see Schofield, Zapata. But where is Virgil? Where is Virgil, real talk? Where is Virgil? Per Dan Raphael and his sources, it's a 2-year deal. Per source with knowledge of the details, the Golden Boy DAZN rights deal announced Tuesday is for 2 years with the option language to extend. What else that tells me, ladies and germs, is that it's a performance deal. They're giving Golden Boy 2 years to get their act together and deliver some fights. Because once again, why would Matchroom get a 5-year deal, but Golden Boy only gets a 2-year deal? Why? Why don't they get 5 years? No puedes jugar el boxeo, mi niño. El boxeo no se juega. ISIS CEO woke up, and I'm very glad to hear that. I was very happy to hear that. We don't need another Jeanette Zapata kind of situation. We don't want another Maxime Dadashev, Patrick Day kind of situation. Kid's only 19 years old, went into that fight with an upside down record, meaning she has more losses than victories. It's hard to know how to react to that, because every fight that comes across your television has the potential for that to happen. And the brutality is what draws us to the sport. The violence, the knockouts, the blood. She got knocked out, you know. Jocelyn beat her up real bad. And it didn't take long. You often hear it said that, well, better to get knocked out early than to sustain a beating. But this was one of those situations where, shit just went sideways really fucking fast. But how do you remedy that? How do you prevent that from happening when this is a sport that's marketability is based in its brutality? How do you fix that? There's an effort to put an extra minute for the women, 3-minute rounds. We hear it all the time. And the rationale behind that is if they have an extra minute to work, they might produce more knockouts. Knockouts is what the people want. Knockouts is what the industry wants. But it comes at a cost. I hope that kid recovers, makes a full recovery. I don't believe she should be boxing anymore. She's only 19 years old. She's a baby, man. Shouldn't be boxing no more, man. Poor kid. God bless her and her family, But she shouldn't be boxing no more, man. That was close call. The same kind of thing happened to Phoenix Ayala, a very experienced Mexican fighter. When she fought Hannah Rankin, she took a beating. I believe there was cranial swelling. I believe they had to induce a coma while they relieved that swelling. You don't want to see that happen to them, You don't want to see that happen to the fighters. Maybe Javante, but that's it. Maybe Javante. Shout out to Real Talk for the XP. Windows XP, baby. It's crazy, but yeah, it's like that slide and counter that it's a little hard to know how to feel. Like, I think all of us collectively want her to get better, make a full recovery, of course. But when you talk about countermeasures, I don't know what they're supposed to be. Countermeasures? I don't know what they're supposed to be. She had fought in a fight and got knocked out earlier in the year. I think that was in January. But it was a knockout to the body. She took a body shot. It wasn't a head punch. So there wasn't fear of CTE or because it wasn't a head punch. She goes into this fight with Jocelyn, and it was kind of like the Miranda Atkins fight that Sinisi Estrada had during the pandemic. It was like it was quick. She went in, bing, 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 fight's over. And how do you what countermeasures are you supposed to take in a sport that markets itself on violence? What do you know? It's crazy. What it do, Stuart? What it do, Ralph? It's hard to say, man. Post the link in the chat. Hitchens want to go to ZUFFA. Go to ZUFFA, bro. Become the ZUFFA welterweight champion. It's intimidation what they doing, That's intimidation. If you tell guys, yo, you can't go over there because if you do, we gonna strip you. Or you can't go over there and fight for that belt too because we gonna strip you. That's intimidation. Why do you recognize each other but not them? What empowers you to do that? Because it's not your role in a sport to dictate to fighters where they could go. Why do you recognize each other, but you saying you're not going to recognize them, and if somebody go over there, it's going to cost them their belt? That's straight up collusion, because that's not your job. That's not your job. If Undefeated could get 500 thou at ZUFFA, you telling him not to go over there?
Yeah, suck my dick.
So do you have $500,000 then for Undefeated? Because you telling him, yo, don't go over there. If you go over there, yo, you can't have our belt. Well, then fuck, your belt and suck dick, bro.
Let's knock this bitch out the park real quick. So the Muhammad Ali Act passed?
It's not law yet, bro. It's not law yet, but it's on its way to becoming law. Right now, it's going to be taken to the floor. They're going to vote on it again. But it was 34-2, I think. It was an overwhelming number of votes that it got. So now it's going to hit the floor. They're going to talk about it again. But it looks like it's going to be passed into law. And if you really, this is the thing, Undefeated. This is the thing. If you really read through it, it's good for boxing. I told y'all about how it guarantees a higher national average per round for the fighters, right? A higher national, it guarantees that to the fighters, that the chicken gizzard circuit fighters, the club circuit fighters will make more money, right? Why do you think promoters don't want that?
That's wild.
Right? But also, what they really don't like, on the higher end of the industry, y'all don't get to keep flooding the market with these interims no more. No more stay busy belts. only time y'all get to make a stay busy belt is under extenuating circumstances. Porque tú no ves lo que está pasando. WBA has an interim champion at featherweight in Mirko Cuello. Pero pa qué? You gave the title shot to the number one contender. You didn't even give it to Mirko. You gave it to Brandon. So then what the fuck does Mirko have an interim for? What does he have an interim for? In the interim of what? In the interim of wasting his fucking time. In the interim of what, bro?
Damn. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Now, why didn't that girl, she didn't cover her head, man, to eat those shots like that, man? That's what I didn't understand. She had them midway up to her face, and them shots just came three piece. I'm like, damn, why did she do that, man?
I mean, the shit is that the girl, she don't have a lot of fights, Herb. She only got like 4 fights. And I gather, look, if she's 19 and she's in the pros, she probably ain't got a whole lot of. I mean, I don't think she got no amateur experience. You see what I mean? You in the pros at 19? Yeah, you probably ain't got no amateur experience. So she ain't get, fundamentals. Like, nah, she not gonna have that. She not gonna have that. You learning on the job, basically.
Yeah.
That's scary, bro. Scary, bro. But I hope she recover, man. Cause that shit, it do happen though. Like I said, it happened to Phoenix Ayala. Unfortunately, it happened to Jeanette Zapata, who passed away from her injuries. That was really, really sad. That was a young girl, man. You know? She was from Mexico too, just like this girl. She's from Mexico too. Phoenix too, actually. Phoenix Ayala too. And it's just, I don't know what you supposed to tell somebody, Herb. Like what can be done to make the shit safer when the whole idea of watching it is how safe it is not. Yeah, y'all getting punched in the brain. If me, Undefeated, and Herb is up at 11:30 screaming at the screen, it's because somebody getting their ass beat. But I do think, alternatively, it hasn't been said yet. Alternatively, this kind of makes the WBC's case. Remember, they don't want to give the girls 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
See?
And the argument that they made, for those who haven't heard it, is that women are more likely to be concussed. That's what the research that they gave, that they're going off of, that women are likelier to receive a concussion. And when you think about the last, let's say, 5 years of boxing, I'm not saying this indefinitely. I'm saying I have heard of more women in these situations than men. I'll say that. Because Maxim Dadashev and Patrick Day was over 5 years ago. That's back there. Yeah, like we in 06, we in 26 now. That stuff was around the time of the bubble. After that, Jeanette Zapata died. After that, Phoenix Ayala, she goes to Scotland. She has cranial swelling. After that, this shit that just happened. And I think there's one more. I feel like I'm missing one more, that it kind of makes the case for the WBC that, are you sure these broads should be fighting for 3 minutes? Are you sure?
And we have, and some women are doing it already too. On top of that, they're already in full mode campaigning for it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that. Look, I understand what they're saying. Oh, because if you get the extra minute, you get to work a little longer. Maybe you get a nice highlight reel knockout, which is marketable. But check it out. Look at Gabby. Gabby fighting in 10-2s, man. Straight up. That's 10. Gabby ain't fighting for 3-minute rounds. She's fighting in 10-2s. And she's smoking broads. So I don't think it boils down to how many minutes is in the round. I just think, you either got it or you don't, to be knocking people out. Yeah, like anything else, you either got it or you don't. Some girls got it, some girls don't. Gabby has.
I heard one chick say, "You gonna pay me some more money?" I was like, "Hey, can't argue with that."
I personally like the 2-minute rounds because, yeah, women are not that. I guess I want to say they're not meant for 3-minute rounds. 2 minutes is perfect with me.
2 minutes is perfect for me because of the pace. The pace is nice. They come out, they throwing. It ain't no time to be dancing around and looking at each other. This ain't a Richardson Hitchens fight. Be looking at motherfuckers and shit. Yeah. But they saying
2 minutes.
They saying Hitchens Delgado is gonna be at ZUFFA. That's what they saying. I love it. I love it. I don't think it ends well for Keith's fighters, though, to be real with you. The guys that he took over there, Hitchens, they're saying he took Berlanga over there. They're saying that Connor is already over there. But I don't see it ending well for those guys, you know what I mean? I don't.
I mean, compared to what they're making right now, no. But I mean, Robert's taking his fighters over there, so I mean,
Yeah, but see, like for those guys, for Robert and those young fighters, ellos están viniendo de nada.
Nothing.
De nada. So almost anything would be a step up from what they're getting. Like he said, I seen a video where he said it. He said he had a guy in the gym. This guy had to sell his own tickets to get paid. And I think he said all he made was $4,000 from the fight as a fight purse. He goes to ZUFFA, he got $70,000.
Yeah.
Don't gotta do shit. Don't gotta sell shit. Eat a dick, B. I'm not buying no ticket.
Gotta pay for my training camp. None of that.
Hey,
No,
that's
there
beautiful.
you, and this is why it's not even that I'm an advocate of ZUFFA. I'm just telling you the truth. It's not bad for every fighter. Imagine that kid getting that same $70,000 purse, but not at ZUFFA. Yo, a whole chunk of that is going to training expenses. Straight up.
Right.
Taxes.
Whole chunk of that. Training expenses. Taxes is a given, but training expenses, manager fee, promoter fee. Oh, and if it was for a sanctioning body title, 3%.
La verga.
But ZUFFA's the bad guys undefeated. They the bad ones. They're the bad guys. What kills me about this shit, I'm not going to get political, but they remind me of the lefty loonies. Y'all motherfuckers get so stuck trying to be the good guy, y'all don't even read up about the shit y'all talking about.
Yep.
Straight up. Like, y'all didn't. The Muhammad Ali Revival Act and the literature that encompasses everything that they're trying to do, bro, that shit was available for mad months. I did a video on it. Like, that shit wasn't no secret what they was trying to do. And you telling me that you read through it, which we know you didn't, and you came to the conclusion that this is bad? Bad for who? Bad for the WBC? WBA? Bad for them? Maybe. It ain't bad for the fighters. Shout out to my man Moore. Salute Jules, panel, and chat. Subscribe, share. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the love, bro. I love you too, yo. You know what I'm saying? You telling me that a higher national average is bad for the fighters per round? That's bad. Why? You telling me that fighters getting to see more of their own money that they earn? No camp fee, no manager fee, no sanctioning fee, no promoter fee. They get to see more of their money and take it home to their families and their prostitutes and their side chicks and their 8-balls and their fentanyl. That's bad. You telling me that not because a part of the act is, yo, y'all don't get to keep coming up with new belts. That's a part of the act. And then you wonder why, yeah, the people in boxing are mad. Yeah, because y'all benefit from the chaos. Y'all benefit from that. Y'all don't want boxing to be regulated. Go ahead, undefeated.
I like the sanctioning bodies. I really do, bro. However, I want them to be governed. Like, y'all can't be doing this bullshit whenever y'all feel like it. Like, oh, here's a fucking belt. Give me 3%. Like, no. If you want to work here in the USA with the fighters, okay, but we're gonna tell you what to do. And Mauricio, we're gonna tax every fucking penny you get because you're not a fucking charity, bro. You're not.
Yo, Rolly only has a belt right now because the sanctioning bodies up until this point have been allowed to manufacture titles out of thin air with no regulation whatsoever. There was already a WBA champion. It was Boots. Rolly, if you want to be WBA champion, go fight Boots. Obviously, that fucking shit ain't gonna happen, right? They literally made up a belt for him and Ryan. Literally. They made it up. There was no WBA regular champion. They made it up. They give it to, okay, y'all can fight for this. Y'all can fight for this. So that when Boots leaves, whose bitch ass is in position? Rolly. And he ain't fought a welterweight. And then none of these, there's so many content creators now, right? There's content creators all up and down YouTube, all up and down TikTok, all up and down Instagram. And none of them seem to report on shit like, yo, report on shit that's real. This is watering down the American boxing scene. Why? This guy should not have a belt. He didn't fight a welterweight. What welterweight Rolly fought? You fought Ryan. Ryan was new to the division. So were you. Y'all some welterweight champions. This is crazy. You supposed to been get your ass whooped by that Uzbek. I know it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I know that. Like, yeah, they never gonna let that Uzbek fight you. And that's why boxing is gonna stay boring in certain divisions that are overrun with Americans. It's gonna stay boring because you're forming a blockade around the belt. You're not actually letting the better guys get a shot at it. You decided that Rolly is the chosen one. That's fucking crazy. If you know there's a guy that could whoop his ass, you post. You know, I shouldn't have to say it like, yo, yeah, you supposed to let that happen, bro. It's about your only job is to move these ranks and sanction these fights. That's literally it. It's very obvious to anybody that pays attention to this sport that the one job that you're supposed to do, most of you don't do it. You are in bed with the promoter. That's the opposite of what you're for. You're supposed to be an impartial party that mediates between the sport and the promoter. You may as well work for the fucking promoter, which defeats the fucking purpose of even having you. They're clutching at their pearls. Oh, Zuffa get to make their own belt. That's not right. But it's right that the sanctioning bodies work with the promoters. That's right. Shit is crazy, bro. Shit is
Hey,
crazy.
Jules, remember how you were saying that like Zuffa, they like in bed with Sky over there, so they're gonna have shows over in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like that. Now, I think this is when Conor Ben comes into play because that big old 15 million wasn't for just no one fight. I think they're gonna try to start something over there with him and try to build it from there. I don't know. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe not. But if it does, remember I said it
No,
first.
you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. I don't think they would give him that amount of money for a single fight either. Not Regis Prograis. Maybe they
Hmm.
try to make him their inaugural Zuffa welterweight champion. Because remember, they don't got no supers and they don't got no juniors. So there ain't no 154 over there for him. Maybe he goes down to welter, he becomes the Zuffa champion. And who's he gonna? Who's he even gonna have to fight over there at welter? What, Hitchens? I'm saying it
Yeah,
is
you
what
know
it
something.
is.
I think that Plant and Charlo should go to Zuffa.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the power slap part of Zuffa, not the boxing part. The power slap part.
Yo,
Damn, that's
but check.
fucked up.
Yo, Herb. I said it the other day that Caleb is at a point where regular boxing don't have nothing for you but ass whoopings. You don't beat nobody that's at the top. Shiraz will knock you out. Mobili will beat your ass. Sajo will beat your ass. Even Melankuziev might beat your ass. The only way you could have a second wind in your career is if you go to Zuffa. Because then, oh, Caleb went over there. Right? Right? But if you stay in regular boxing, it must be to get your ass beat because that's the only thing that's gonna happen. Who the fuck does he beat at 168 right now? Who?
He
You
could
don't
beat
beat
up on
Munguia.
he could beat up on tomato cans for less money if he stayed in regular boxing. But now go to Zuffa, you get a good paycheck to beat up on cans if you can or
Yeah.
whatever. You
And
know,
you
you
get the,
can't lose.
he could, because remember, since they don't have supers and juniors, he would go over there as a light heavyweight.
Mm.
Perfect.
It might give
That
him
means he
advantage
gotta
for
fight Kalajdzic, Vazdik, right? A lot of dicks over there. It's a lot of different dicks. Kalajdzic, Vazdik, right? So it's the Vazdik. So he gonna go over there and get fucked. You know what I mean? But it's just that,
Wow.
yeah, you at a point. It's like Errol. It's like what I said about Errol, Herb, when you wasn't here a couple of days ago. That if Errol came back under PBC, it ain't about nothing, homie. It ain't about nothing. But if you came back on the Matchroom, oh, that's different. Oh, what he about to do? Oh, it changes things. So it's like, yeah,
Right.
you're at a point where the biggest news you could make is changing your decorum. It's not even a fight. They could announce Caleb Plant versus Ozlisi Iglesias tomorrow, for example. Everybody know what's gonna happen, bro. Everybody know what's gonna happen to you, bro. Any guy USA, any guy top 15, top 10 beats you. That's where you at. So the most you could do is change your decorum. That's the most you could do. Other than that, boxing don't got nothing for you but ass whoopings. That's it. You know? Y'all heard this Sebastian talking about retirement, right?
Uh, I didn't. I saw the video you made, but I didn't click it, bro. What is he talking about? What?
He's saying he don't want to keep fighting for very long.
I mean,
He's gonna go to middleweight, bro. I'ma just repeat myself. Fuck it. Tu sabe que Carlos is moving up to 68. He's gonna drop the
oh,
BC. He's gonna drop
oh.
the BC. Sebastian will move up and pick it up. That's what's gonna happen. I literally said that would happen. I literally like, yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Carlos not gonna do nothing at 160 because he ain't gonna fight Lara. The way I said it before, he ain't gonna fight Lara, but he don't want to fight Yanni back. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna move up because he's a fat fucker. And when he moves up and he drops the belt, Sebastian will then move up and pick it up. But he's not gonna fight nobody. He's not gonna fight nobody. I would be surprised if he even fought Lara. No,
And you
matter of
know,
fact, that is who I think he's gonna fight. I think he's gonna fight Lara. I think he's gonna fight Lara.
at 60,
Yep. And I'll take it. I'll take I'll take it.
you
I ain't
know,
shit.
I'm a fan of the guy, but I gotta call it how I see it. You know who he's gonna fight at 60, bro?
Who?
Virgil Ortiz.
That's not bad, bro.
It's not bad, but I'm like, bro, you're gonna leave another division without being a champion. There's smoke. There's a fucking Puerto Rican right there, and there's a motherfucker from Philly that are looking for you.
Es que manín. His resume is
Yeah.
starting to remind me of David Benavidez. You know how we always say that David's moment to establish a legacy already passed because of everything you didn't do at 68. It's kind of like that with Virgil and 47. You know that there was a lot that didn't happen. Some of it is not even his fault, in fairness. Some of it
Yeah.
is not his fault. But you just got to say that, look, dog, it's not my job to make excuses for you either. You know, not a lot happened at 47. Not a lot happened at 54. Some of it was your fault. Some of it was Boots's fault, in fairness. Some of it was also his fault. But it just is what it is that, like, every time we talk about you, it got to be that. Where you going? You know, like, it is what I don't got to do that with Bam. You see?
Nope.
I don't gotta do that. Like, now I talk about Bam. It's like, damn, who we gonna fuck up next? That's Bam. We talk about you. Herb got to pull a violin out.
Yeah.
It's always a fucking. It's always some shit.
You gotta pull
Yo,
out his medical report. Like, well, he did have that Rambo, and he did this. Like, all right,
Yes,
bro.
that
Like,
Rambo. He did
yo,
have the gout. He did have the gout. So
He had
yeah.
the rabies.
right,
Hey,
he
yo,
did have jock itch.
What's up,
you said
fellas?
that.
Good to
You
do,
so
said that.
country.
country.
Contrary, you said the PBC can go to the zone and probably do something for the pay-per-view portion of the zone
Yeah,
because
you know
they have, what can they
you
sell? They got nothing to sell, Jules.
no, you know what it is, Herb? It's two things. Two things primarily. The first thing is that you could see that pay-per-views are a big part of the zone's bottom line because of their ultimate tier. So they're looking for fights that they can bill as pay-per-views. Secondly, the PBC has been doing nothing but pay-per-views for 2 years now. More than that, but still on Amazon,
Yeah.
like that's most of what you're doing is pay-per-views. So you say, well, okay, you can do that on the zone. What you're doing, yeah, you can do that on the zone. And then you say, okay, What the fuck pay-per-view can they do on DAZN though? Gary Russell versus Dalton Smith, unification match, right?
Yeah.
Espinoza versus Figueroa. You know that they're exploring that now, right? Fernando
Yeah.
Beltran. Fernando wants to make it. You know, and I told people, they got mad at me after I said that they should fight. There's some snarky asshole a couple of weeks ago. It's like, bro, I understand that Manny Robles trains them both, but push comes to shove, he just got with Brandon. Push comes to shove. We saw the same thing happen with Andre Rosier and Daniel Jacobs when he fought Derevyanchenko. Andre Rosier trained them both, but when they fought, he stayed with Danny because he was with Danny longer. And, you know, Sergey, hey, you got to, you know, find a different trainer for this fight. It's not like it can't happen just because they have the same trainer. It can happen, and it should. So those are the kind of fights that if PBC went to DAZN, you could, well, I'm not going to say you could or you should, but they would build them as pay-per-views, because I don't think they should personally. I don't think, you know, I don't think that, I love Espinoza Figueroa as a fight, but pay-per-views are determined by the marquee value of the fighters, or they should be, and nothing else. You can either draw or you can't, and that should be the deciding. That's everything. Is this going to sell or not? And, you know, they're doing things backwards. You're doing pay-per-views for the sake of doing them, when really you're not supposed to do them until the opportunity presents itself. If Undefeated sells 14,000 in Texas and Country is good for 14,000 in California, right? Okay, then you do it. Then you do it when the numbers show you that, yeah, these guys are ready. This souffle is ready. But you can't force it like this, you know? You can't force it.
You know
No,
with the zone signing Golden Boy, right? I'm pretty sure they put something in the contract like we tell you what to do. You giving us that boot to Virgil next, right?
Or Undefeated. I said it before you jumped on. Didn't you see that Virgil's not in the poster?
A
He's
la
not in the
ver.
poster. He's not. Look, I got it right here. He's not in the poster.
they got 2 years, right?
Yep. But he's
Let me
not in the.
see. Let me
2 years.
Hold on. Let
Two
me read the
years.
super chat. With Adames moving up, would he be a better style matchup for Canelo than Mabili? Either one makes a solid fight. What you think Canelo prefers Adames? Let me answer that, and you can look at the poster Undefeated. Adames is a boxer. The stylistic matchup that favors Canelo is Mabili. The caveat is Mabili is bigger than Adames. So it's like, yeah, you got the right style, but you a big, durable fucking guy. Adames, on the other hand, is a boxer, but he's a smaller guy. Hard to say which one is easier, because you know Adames is going to get on the good foot. He ain't just going to sit there like a moron. He's going to box. With Canelo, he's going to box. Yeah, with Canelo, he's going to box. Hard to say. You see that Virgil's not in the picture, bro? What if a
Yeah.
part of the deal is y'all cut Virgil loose and we give you a deal? I'm not playing.
I thought I saw the video they put out too. Did you see it? The video,
Yeah,
like the little.
yeah.
I thought I saw Virgil in there at the
Don't
end,
know,
like
bro.
at the very end.
I,
At the
I
very end.
don't know. I don't know, bro. But he's not in the poster. It's not by accident that he's not in the fucking poster, bro. It's not. Why would Munguia be in the poster, but he's not? What if the zone told him, listen, we'll work with you. Okay. We want Virgil to fight. He's part of our bottom line, and we want him to fight. You cut him loose, you got 2 years. And listen, they gave Matchroom 5. Understand that shit? They gave Matchroom 5 years. Why does Golden Boy only get 2? Because they're giving you 2 years to get your act together. That's what that is. They're giving you 2 years to get your act together. Giving you another 2 for you to start producing content that moves the needle and deliver fights that we want, that we need. And if in those 2 years you don't, okay, that's it. That is it.
2 years ain't shit.
That's
You would have to give
nothing.
us like, right? You have to give us like what? How many pay-per-views a month? How many pay-per-views they got to come up with within 2 years?
Yo, the other shit is Eric Gomez said they didn't even give them a set number of fights. Like Eric Gomez tried to make it sound good, but you got to read between the lines. They didn't get a set number of fight dates. They got a fixed budget. They have control of that budget. But I could tell you right now that the number of that budget is less than what you were getting before, because what you were getting before was based on a certain number of fights. Okay, you're going to do X amount of fights per year, which is at minimum is going to cost Y. Now they just threw you some money and said, look, here's some money. Y'all do what y'all need to do with it. But yeah, here's some money. You got 2 years to get it together. What y'all gonna do in them 2 years? I don't know. I don't.
What can they do, dudes? Go behind the
You think
paywall and just let them fight right. Throw some solid fights up and just get the views.
The
Or go
shit
to
is they don't
pay-per-view.
got the shit is that they don't got the bodies. The real shit with them is they just don't have the bodies like at all. You see what I mean? That yo, what's the hot fight that you could make for Alexis Rocha? Somebody tell me. What's the hot fight, the sexy one?
Ryan Garcia?
Right. What's the fight that gets your dick hard with Arnold Barboza? Which one, bro? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What's the hot, sexy, scrappy Ramirez fight that's gonna move the needle, make the bitches bust their titties out? Which one? They don't have the bodies. The only two guys you got that could move the needle, and we don't even know if you got one of them, is Brian and Virgil. But we don't even know if you still got Virgil. So that leaves Brian. Now with Brian, you got some Guandulas right there. You do. Because the Devin Haney rematch will move the needle. That one will. That fight, I could say, yeah, when they do that, I could see 3 and 4. I could see 3 and 4 for that fight. Maybe 5 if something viral happens in the buildup. But at minimum, I could see that one doing in between 300 and 400,000. Just off of the conspiracy, off of the controversy, and off of the racial component. You know, the black fighters versus the Mexican fighters. It has that component. So everything coming together, that's one that y'all got that will move the needle. But that's it. Name me another one.
You don't think the zone sat Oscar down and they're like, look, we got a 2-year deal for you. You give us Virgil, and you clean up, bro. Enough with this ass clap Thursday, because this shit's fucking up everybody. You
You didn't
disrespecting Dana, disrespecting Eddie, you
you didn't see
disrespecting
you didn't see what he did to announce the deal? He
what he
wore
do?
these tight ass jean shorts
Oh
and
fuck!
jumped in the pool. Yo, the shit.
Oh
He wore
fuck! Man.
he wore the Jessica Simpson. You remember Jessica Simpson shits from
The
the Daisy Duke shits?
the
Yeah,
fucking
man.
these boots ain't made for walking.
These
Shit.
boots is made for walking, and that's just what they'll
That's
Don't make
do.
why.
sure.
Goddamn.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
ain't gonna front. That shit was funny as shit though. Like he's wilding, bro. But yeah, listen, I'll just say that they need to make signings. You know that look, a lot of we encounter a lot of situations like this generally in life on big and small scales where you're backed into a corner and you have to change something or you have to do something new, something different because you're backed into a corner. So what is it that Golden Boy can do? Stop thinking inside the box. Sign fighters. That's what you do. You have to start signing fighters. Sign Gary Russell, sign Brandon Figueroa. Yeah, go after Mexican Olympians. Yo, go after Mexican fighters. What you have right now, the good thing about them is they did. I remember 2 weeks ago, they signed like a string of new guys. I don't know how good any of them are, though, to be honest. You know, and do you really trust Golden Boy's eye? But I do know they signed like 4 new guys, like 2-3 weeks ago. But it's like, yeah, like the only way you can remedy the situation, and those new guys that you signed, good idea. Yeah, invest in the future. But those guys aren't going to be worth anything for a while. Not for another, what, if you're lucky, 4 years? Those guys are just starting out. So what you need to do now is you need to get out there and sign fighters. It's the only way because you just don't have it. Lexus Rocha, Jojo Diaz, the fuck, Floyd Schofield. They got Floyd Schofield, but he don't want to do nothing. Zerto fuck around, lose his belts, then what? And even if he don't lose his belts, what's the big fight for Zerto? What's the big fight? If he win and he get to keep his belts, all right, now what? Noel McCallion? Hey, yo, they're in the corner, man. They are. Shout out to Gerard. All right, Jules, followed your brilliant channel for years, but for the first time, I'm going to disagree with your stance on Dana entering boxing. I don't think he's going to be good for our sport. I disagree with you. It depends on who you talking about. If Robert Garcia, who ain't just a trainer, if Robert Garcia, who was a fighter and a champion himself, is saying that his boys that was sitting around doing nothing in the gym, there was no opportunities for them, they go to Zuffa, they start making money, how is that bad? How is that bad? What's the bad part? The other thing that people don't like about Dana, right, is that he not with this fairy tale shit. And I don't blame him. Boxing is out of control. We talked about it the other night. You got guys like Floyd Schofield asking for 10 mil. Bro, are you crazy? Are you crazy? A lot of these guys won't do nothing unless you operate at a net negative. That's not good for boxing. Doing shows that lose money, overpaying fighters that end up in the red. How the fuck you supposed to stay afloat? What they really don't like about Dana, and I'm not saying he's an angel, I'm not saying he's the good guy, but what they don't like about him is he brings regulation. That's what they don't like about him. That's what they don't like about the Revival Act. It brings yeah, you don't get to keep making new titles like a fucking Pez dispenser. You think, well, of course they're not going to like that. You fucking up their paper. But how many times have we complained? Yo, there's too many belts out there. WBA got like 4 versions of their own belt. WBC, another one. They got like 4 versions of their belt. Why is there an interim champion if the active champion is active? Why is the number 1 contender getting the title shot ahead of the interim? I thought the interim was supposed to be the next in line. No, it's that way here, but it's not that. Yeah, this has to stop. It's got to stop. Shit don't make no sense.
I think I seen Mama Hopefield saying she wanted to go to Zuffa if they can't get the tank fight, and it's like, bro, like
It's not because they can't get the tank fight. What's fucked up right now is what's fucking them up right now. Because now that they're hearing Tank is coming back, the WBA might want to give Tank his belt back. Remember,
oh shit.
the Schofields were gonna fight for it on the premise that Tank was a champion in recess, but they never actually got to fight for the title. How long has it taken to make this fucking Lucas Body fight, right? Should have made it already. Because it's not made yet, and because the rumor is Tank is coming back, the WBA might be thinking, yo, let's give Tank his belt back. The caveat with that is, though, that Tank is rumored to be fighting Isak at 140. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's what the holdup is. They were waiting for the ability to fight for a title. They want the Lucas Badi fight to be for the WBA title, but it may be held up by Tank's return. That's what that is. Shout out to Gerard. Isn't that their manager's fault, Jules? They want to go fight for a wrestling belt. Brody, I'm caring less and less about these belts and more about the fights. Rolly got a belt. Ryan got a belt.
You could get a pair of shiny shorts with bedazzles on them and no date, or you can get a date.
Yeah.
Nah, at the end of the day, these people, like this guy Face Killer and Gerard or whatever, they're really just upset that Dana has talked shit about boxing all these years, and they don't want him to come in and have success. Their problem isn't with Zuffa and what they're doing. Their problem is strictly with Dana. Every single person who has an issue with it, it's
Yeah,
just
but
Dana.
also Turkey. Yeah, but also Turkey because there, like he's been getting pushback from the moment that he came into the sport. Uh, some of it I understand. Some of it I think is just allegiances. A lot of what you're seeing is allegiances. But the crux of it is the real reason the sanctioning bodies and the promoters are against Zuffa entering into the space is because it fucks up their business. The sanctioning bodies got relationships with these promoters, WBA with the PBC, WBC with, depending on the fighter. And this disrupts that because of what we talked about yesterday. You got an ocean of guys that's giving you 3% out of their purse for a title shot they're never going to get. You see what I mean? Now those guys have the option of saying, yo, fuck that shit. Fuck, I'm giving you 3% for what? I ain't never gonna get a shot. Them motherfuckers over there is offering me more money than I've been making over here. That's the threat. That's the threat. Yo, they gonna take all their money over there to Zuffa where we can't get no action. That's the threat. It's not about no bitch ass belt. That's why motherfuckers on like Twitter spaces and shit. These motherfuckers is little kids. Like, it's not about the stupid fucking belt. It's about the 3% that they're gonna be deprived of if Zuffa gets really rocking and rolling. That's what it's about. That's their whole revenue stream. They can't just live off of a few marquee fighters that have big purses. Canelo only fights but so often. This year is a perfect example. He's only gonna fight once. If like in September. You see? So you can't rely on his money. The WBC and the WBA rely on the sanctioning fees that they take from all these different fighters, these B, C, D tier fighters. That's what keeps them afloat. But if those fighters now have an alternative to dealing with your bullshit, oh, nah, that's not good for business. They keep saying it's about the fighters. How the fuck is it about the fighters if Giyasov been waiting for a title shot for 3 years? How is it about the fighters? And you're not going to see the Sean Zattel or none of these people. Like, if you care so much about the fighters, why don't you talk about that? Because it don't align with your narrative. Oh, yeah, Zuffa's the bad guy. Then what's the WBA for leaving him in limbo for 3 years? Eddie Hearn got blaming that too because you're his fucking promoter. When he stepped aside, when Boots fights Stanionis for the BA, who y'all told to step aside? But y'all the good guys? Stop it.
Hey, what's going on, Jules? Hey, how's my mic?
It sound kind of muffled.
A little muffled?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm coming through. Yeah, I'm coming through a Bluetooth. Hold on.
But yeah, you know that I'm not telling you that Zuffa's great or that Zuffa's I'm telling you that the system that we have in place, it don't work. It doesn't work. If it worked, we would have seen that Uzbek fight Rolly by now. How does Rolly get elevated to full champion before the Uzbek when the Uzbek was mandatory before Rolly even won the Reggie belt? The Uzbek been the mandatory since Stanionis was champion. Rolly winning a regular title, that doesn't come until a year and a half, 2 years after. The system is broken. So miss me with the Zuffa this, Zuffa that. Nah. This is what boxing needs. Boxing needs a shakeup. These motherfuckers need to be afraid because they're the ones running a monopoly. Fucking fighters indiscriminately for years. This shit ain't right. The virtue signaling is what gets me. Stop trying to act like y'all the good guys. Y'all not. Y'all not the good guys. Mauricio whole motherfucking thing is we get to fight for the W. Yeah, that's not the honor that you make it out to be, bro. Okay, cut the bullshit. Motherfucker can't pay the rent with the WBC title, right? You can't send Con Ed the WBC title, right? Can you buy groceries with the WBC title? Not for that bullshit. You know. So y'all just gonna stand there breathing and shit?
No, I'm reading the chat. There's a couple of homos that don't want to click the link, but they want to argue.
Okay. Shout out to Will. Not only that, but you got guys like Ja and Murtazaliev who were ducked for dear life. What is the point of being a champion if you're not fighting the best. I'm with you, Jules. Yeah. These guys love to act like they the heroes and shit. You don't fool me. It's not that you care about the fighters, and it's not that you like the current system. The way that y'all minds operate, you just don't like Dana. That's your everything. That's your whole argument is I don't like Dana. That's what the whole
Bro,
thing.
literally
And
think
where
about how he did that shit. He said, "I don't think Dana's good for our sport." Bro, fuck you, bro.
your whole
I mean,
because that's the shit. There's people like me, sexy people with foreskin.
Homo people.
There you go. Not
Right?
natural.
It's time to get gay. Drew's here.
oh shit.
No, but seriously, there are people, two kinds of people that I notice. There's people that'll spend all day complaining and complaining and complaining without spending any time on looking for a solution. And then there are the people that look for the solution, right? I'm one of those people. Like, yeah, like the complaining is not going to get us anywhere. It's not. I'm not telling you that Zuffa's infrastructure is perfect, but if it has them scared, and it does, then it's worth a shot. Drew, I think they might fail, to be real with you. They might fail, but it's worth a shot. If it has them nervous, when have you ever seen them this nervous?
Never.
Never.
And here's the thing, like failure in the sense of does it take off like UFC? Yes. But is it failure for TKO because they ain't spending their no money? No.
It's just what they want it to be, Drew. That the vision that they have of what they want it to become, because there's collusion, and it's very obvious there's collusion. They're just not going to be able to get to that point. They're not. Between their lack of know-how, and I thought that they had found a good avenue that, okay, if you sign known fighters and you have them hold the inaugural title, then that will legitimize the inaugural title at welter, at middle, blah, 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 blah. But not if they're going to hold these guys to ransom. Not if they're going to cut your fucking balls off. They know you got a lot of money, but they're making it so, wait a minute, you go over there, that's your ass. So it's like, and some guys ain't going to go over there. Like, look, Drew, look at the potential signings. Richardson, Hitchens, ooh, Edgar Berlanga, ooh, fucking Undefeated's favorite fighter, Brandon Ree.
And we know Keith Conley basically fucked his whole long-term plans up because no old guard promoter is going to hire any Keith Conley fighter, correct?
They're not because and you know, I'll say that Keith didn't do nothing but what he was supposed to do. You know, he found a better deal for a greater monetary value. So he did what a manager going to do. He did, you know, I can't say that he's wrong. Like, that's his job. That is literally his job. It's just that you chose short-term gains over long-term relationships. Go ahead, Herb.
30-0. Well, he's another Boots, huh?
Pretty much. That motherfucker
Brandon
been
Lee still
fighting.
fighting?
He been fighting Chinese foot cooks for like 5 years, bro. How the fuck you got 30 fights already, bro? Where was I?
Right? Last time I seen him was on Showbox.
Well, shit, the
Yeah,
same
I
way
didn't know
Devin
he was
Haney
still
had
fighting. That shit
25
crazy.
before he fought someone significant.
Yeah, but we know where he fought. He fought in Mexico, so it's like, well, yeah, we know what the fuck you was doing out there,
That
bro.
motherfucker fought in the back of the back of a Chinese restaurant, bro.
He fought in the back of a Ford Tacoma, bro. No.
Shit look like a Tekken board and shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Back of the
For
restaurant.
real. But he signed, and this is what I mean, Drew. That look, I told you this though. In fairness, I told you this from the get. Zuffa can corner the market on the workman fighters, the B, C, D tier guys. They can get those guys because they can offer them something better than the existing model. But in terms of top tier talent and creating stars, yeah, that's gonna be rough. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to develop.
I don't disagree. Now, if you're a B and C tier fighter, Jules, where are you gonna go? Who's gonna pay you more? A fucking Oscar fight, Oscar De La Hoya, or do I stay with Zuffa and they pay me double what Oscar will pay me for one fight, and I can get 3 of those paydays in 1 year.
And that's why I put such an emphasis on matchmaking. See, people will forgive that, oh, you know, you got fucking Edgar Berlanga over here, because if he gets his ass whooped, then people will watch. You understand me? That
They'll jerk off.
They'll jerk off. If you get an Edgar over there or a Caleb Plant over there, right? The appeal has to be the attractiveness of the fight, not even the name value, because that's the old way, hoping that this fighter, you know, he becomes the shit and fucking lasers shoot out of his nipples. That's the old way. This is more product. We're going to bring you violence on Sundays. People are going to get CTE. People are going to get their ribs broke. That's what you sell, right? So you get Caleb Plant, you get the Berlanga, and you put them in attractive fights. That's the only way it'll work if the matchmaking is good. Now, to their credit, I will say that the 4 cards I've seen, I was entertained by them. They're small scale cards. These are club level shows, but they were entertaining. People got fucked up. They did. Kalajdzic versus Vozdik was better than Vozdik versus Benavidez. Stop
Really?
me when I tell a lie.
That last one was kind of ass though. I ain't gonna front. That Joe Battaglia card, that shit was tough.
Now let me ask you this, Jules. Now that everybody's under the zone, we can expect another price hike, right? For certain now.
Yeah, yes. I hate it. I hate it.
Of course,
I hate
Drew.
these motherfuckers.
Of course, Drew. You know how it go, bro. At least another. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, because I think they're attempting to justify the cost with the ultimate tier. You understand? They're hoping they can make it back in pay-per-views. I don't think we get a price hike right away because we just got one. There's gonna be another one, but I think it's down the line. I don't think it's right away. We just got one. $400 fucking dollars for the ultimate tier.
And I'm happy they're all under there, but now I have to accept the fact that any legit fight for Xander, Boots, or any one of these guys is going to be fucking pay-per-view.
You're right. I mean, honestly, that's the downside of what we're dealing with. That any fight like that, bro, it's not part of the subscription. So, you know, Boots and Xander is a pay-per-view. Before that, when I thought it was going to be Josh Kelly, that would have been a pay-per-view, bro. They were not going to give that away for free. If Virgil comes back, probably going to be a pay-per-view, to be honest with you. Probably. The silver lining is at least we're getting Morrell Smith, regular fight. We got Navarrete Nunez, which was a good fight. We got that as a regular fight. Those were both matchroom shows. Bam's next fight probably won't be a pay-per-view. Like, he's just not in a place where he's really not in a place where you could put him behind a paywall. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Any fight like Boots and Xander, yeah, you're gonna have to go in your wallet, or you're gonna have to stream East. You know.
And what I want to know is Inoue Junto's pay-per-view then?
We don't, yo.
Keep it real,
honestly,
Jules. Like,
Drew, it's gonna be a pay-per-view. It is. It is.
As long as DAZN's doing,
they charged us for Picasso,
yes,
bro, and that was at 6 in the fucking morning. That's gonna be a pay-per-view, bro.
So you're right about Zuffa not having the know-how, but as long as DAZN is operating like this in America, they're gonna prolong Zuffa staying in the game in America.
Yeah. But it doesn't help their situation. They're like, dog, we never had to pay extra to see fucking Japanese fighters at the ass crack of dawn. But now we do. If they charged us for fucking Picasso, they'll charge us for Junto.
No, it's okay. I know how to look up a link in the middle of the morning, bro.
Yeah, but we shouldn't have to. Real talk is like, we shouldn't have to. Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
And the hours are gone off.
You talk to people from the UK, they don't even pay the same price as we do. Like, it's just really just kind of a fuck you to us.
And they get more bang for their buck over there. They get everything.
And we're getting treated like dog shit because we're paying literally 2 to 3 times what they're paying. That's what we're paying. Like, bro, $60, $75 compared to 20 to 29 that they paying. That's fucking crazy.
This is why
broke
people
over
end
there,
up screaming. Because of this type of shit.
Exactly.
That's why they do.
You if
they're a bunch of brokies.
Fucking brokies, bro. This motherfucker been watching them Andrew Taint videos because they're brokies. Because they're brokies. You know what I'm saying?
Stupid bitch.
Did anybody watch that Netflix documentary, Enter the Manosphere?
No, I'm gonna watch
I
that
heard a
tonight.
lot about it.
I'm gonna
How
watch
was it?
that
No,
tonight.
no, what's that shit about?
It's about the red pill shit, about the guys that complain they can't get any ass. No, because what you have to do is stop being a broke. I like Andrew Tate personally. I know it's a character that he playing, but there's truth in the comedy. A lot of shit that he said is true. And I'm not a woman hating motherfucker, but a lot of shit that motherfucker said was true. Like, yeah, a lot of shit he said was true, man. You know,
It's just he
Not
filled a
everything's a lie.
void. He filled a void Kevin Samuels left. Kevin Samuels got
They're
on
all-
everybody equally.
Bro, I fucking told you, bro. They all are fake knockoff Kevin Samuels, because when Kevin did it, when Kevin would talk shit, I had the confidence that he's gonna get off the stream and go get his fucking dick sucked. He's smooth like
wanna
room
know-
temperature Hennessy. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to know who the real forefather of that shit? If
Who?
you ever seen this comedian Patrice O'Neal, he used to have this
Yeah.
show
I
or
remember
podcast
Patrice
called
O'Neal.
Black Phillip. Yeah, you remember the Black Phillip show? He used to talk
remember
about
Patrice-
relationships and shit.
I remember his stand-up, Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a podcast.
Yeah, he had a podcast before podcasts were podcasts. When he was like, I think he had got off the Opie and Anthony show. He did it with this other comedian named Dante Nero. Yeah, and they were talking
Yeah,
about
no, I seen him before.
modern day
Yeah.
relationships and problems men go through, all the fucking Manosphere shit. But he died, and everybody just ran with it.
But he was not
Oh.
Kevin. Kevin, I knew Kevin was smooth. I knew Kevin got bitches.
Yeah, like you knew if Kevin said, cause see, motherfuckers say online, and you say whatever, dog. Some of that shit true, some of that shit cat. With Kevin, you knew like, nah, he is fucking these bitches, man. He's fucking them, and he's saying true shit. Whereas now everybody's overboard. Like we talked about the Myron thing. That Myron, you act like a nerd that couldn't get no pussy, and now you mad at these bitches. Because I don't see why you talking to these bitches like that. Even if you don't agree with the shit they say, you come off as whiny. You know, like what you.
I don't like those motherfuckers because they black and fucking be hating on black people. That should be weird to me. It's like
I
you
know how
kind
they
of
call
like
themselves fresh and fit.
Boo-
The
yeah,
food does
like you
not
bullet.
look
Here's
good.
the
The
shit.
other
Here's the
thing is
shit.
fresh.
Look. You know, cause I'm an alien, so this not my fight. But is Myron black?
He like fucking
He's Somali.
Somalian, yeah. Like
I look. I'm being. And this is not me bugging out. I'm 43. Okay, Fig. I don't know what the fuck going on. Is he? Is he? Does he qualify as?
I don't know if he really
qualifies.
qualified for real because he's not from America. Black is kind of like an American thing, but he over here, you know. Black
Hey,
people
Fig,
real,
Fig,
you know.
see, Fig,
we
you
be
confirm-
claiming
you-
motherfuckers. We shouldn't be claiming.
You confirmed something for me, because in recent weeks, the comedian Godfrey, the one I know blah about the Dominicans, right? That's an ongoing thing that's going on. And I said this the other day. The reason that you might hear Dominicans make a distinction between themselves and black folks in America is because what they're really trying to tell you is they're not from over here. The people that are over here, they saying, yeah, that's not me, right? And before, it was the context has changed. Black don't mean what it meant 15, 20 years ago. Now people have associated it with being American. You see? Just like you just said. Black is American. Okay, well, in that regard, then nobody should be getting mad at Oyes when they say, I know black, papi, I know black. Because, well, they're not. They're not American.
Yeah,
They're not.
yeah. It's kind of a weird thing because, you know, the construct of black being here, you got like the one drop rule and all that shit like that. So, like, if it was like back in the day, they'd just be classified by just that. And America
Yeah,
kind of
because
does
when
that.
I was
Everybody's
young-
Asian, everybody's a Hispanic, everybody white.
When I
You know
was
what I mean?
young, a black man in the UK was a black man. You understand? Like, yeah, like he's still a black man. He's just a black man in the UK. My grandfather, yeah, you would have said he was a black man, simple as. But because the context has changed, like, nah, people have turned black into being American. Oh, if it boils down to that, then yeah, basically you saying that, all right, AJ, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, these are not black men. That sounds crazy, but that's what you're saying. You're saying Derek Chisora is not a black man.
It does sound crazy, but it's like you got to look at the context of like what it means. Like the term of it really came from like America, like the caste system here. You know, it's
No,
kind of
it
built
didn't,
off
bro.
that shit.
I'm once again, that's why, because this was like maybe a month ago we was talking about it, me, Jose, and I said, when I feel that became a joke in the United States, Dominican folks, my people, say, I know blah, papi, I know blah, because it offended people. They took it offensively. They took that's how it came off. And from the Dominican side of it, what they telling you is, I'm not from over here, fam. Whatever's here, I'm not from over here. That's what they're trying to tell you. But it turns into a thing because people are getting offended. So Godfrey, he ran that bit into the ground because really it's his best bit, honestly. Like I've seen his comedy. He's not bad, but that's his best bit. That's what he's known for. I know blah, papi. I know blah. All right. That's fucking great. But they're not, though. By this reckoning of here today and the context that people use for what makes a black man, yeah, they're not. They're not American,
Yeah,
right?
it's two different contexts. It's like that one context what we were just talking about, like black existence in America. Because you know, if I don't think they have that separation on their census in different countries. Like in the UK, I don't think they're like, all right, you're black, English. Or if you're in Brazil, I don't think it's like you're.
We got to get
You know
Chan.
what I mean? Like
we got to get Chan on here for that race relations in the UK, because I'm pretty sure that their distinction in the UK is not dissimilar from what you see in the United States.
yeah, we have to talk to her about that. I don't think it's the same though. I think we are the only people that do that.
You're trying to pretend like racism is an American thing, bro. It's not.
I didn't say anything about racism.
No, but it's the same
Gabriel, talk. Shit.
Same context. Is it not?
My bad, you're breaking up. Was that just me?
No, he totally broke up.
He broke.
What did you say?
No, my bad. Wait, my service is garbage.
Yeah, good.
No, but what I'm saying is that this is all based around the context of race, and I don't think that it's any different over there just because it's Europe.
Well,
I don't
race
think it
is
is
a made-up construct in and of itself.
Yeah, but I don't think. In other words, I think it's the same over there, Fig. Maybe a little lighter, because I noticed that the Black Brits are a lot. I can't say that. I can't say that in confidence. I don't know that. I need Chan over here to answer that. They do seem more. Well, that's not true. There's plenty of black folk in America that they like America. They like it. Like that, you know, like there's black folks that are patriotic. Yes. Yes. They went to the military. They went to the military. You know, I'm so they went to the military, raised kids, traveled the world. There's plenty of folks like that. They're not represented is the problem in media. They're not they're not represented. But I guarantee you, depending on the state you live, yeah. There's plenty of black folks that's patriotic, that they like the United States.
Yo, Jules, real quick. I think every group in America, it doesn't matter what ethnicity or what racial background, everybody has people who are proud to be American citizens. The problem is that it feels like every time the media talks about anybody who is not an Anglo-American, they paint them out to be more of their ethnicity than an American. So like you never hear them say like, oh, you know,
Fig is right. I just realized why he's right. The classification of African American creates a separation because of the prefix.
Yep.
But what you don't hear in Britain is African Britain. They don't say that. They say
They
Brit.
don't.
They don't say that.
Exactly.
But here in America, they'll say Latino American, African American, and the prefix. Yeah, you got a point. You got a point. You got a
And they
point.
say Asian American. They in America they kind of yeah just categorize everybody by race. You know what I mean? Like the Japanese, the Korean, the Chinese are just as diverse as the fucking English and the French. And
Seller says they got the same
Well,
distinction: black, white, brown, yellow, green.
an unspoken
But
thing
there's
too
no.
that goes
But
on.
before I pass the country, the difference that I notice is over there are no prefixes. Here, there's a prefix for everything, bro. Like
Yeah, I don't hear
Kryptonian
people saying
American.
I'm British Ghanaian or Ghanaian British.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, country.
Well, I didn't really realize this until after I heard Leo talk about it on a live before, when he was around, that it made him mad that we were called Americans because America is more than just the United States.
Mhm.
And they're, so he was like saying like how we're like North Americans, but we're, everybody from the United States all the way down in the, Central South America, they're all Americans, but I guess it kind of bugged him a little. So
I
because
get why it bugged. I get why it bugged him. That yeah, all of it. This entire continent, north to south, encompasses America, but only we we are the proud to be an American. Jerk me off. I get it, but
What the fuck?
That's
but
not the lyrics, motherfucker.
but my thing is this: if people in Chile want to call themselves Americans, we're not fucking stopping them. We're not. Like, if you want to call you, what the fuck? If Leo and the guys in Santiago or La Tierra del Fuego are running around calling themselves Americans, what the fuck am I gonna do about it? I can't stop them. We ain't stopping nobody from. If you want to feel like you're American, you call yourself an American. We can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, and honestly, Jules, I think the only reason that the United States, its citizens call itself Americans is because of the fact that America was founded by Amerigo Vespucci. That's where the name came from. So it was like the concept was that this is the country that was actually named America versus everywhere else has its own name, like Chile, Brazil, Peru. This is the only country that technically has the
Seller
name
Mama Zoo is
America in it.
literally explaining it to y'all.
Yo, motherfucking Ignacio been reading his motherfucking encyclopedia. He said he said Americo Vespucci. I haven't heard that name since middle school, bro. This motherfucker studied, bro. Shout out to him. This motherfucker studied. I'm gonna
First,
smoke
I
a
was an
cigarette.
accountant for the drug
Seller
dealers.
Mama Zoo
Now
is
I
trying to
study,
explain it
Jules.
to y'all in the
You,
comments.
I got you right now. Hold on. I got you right now. I'm gonna highlight it. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Read that shit in an Irish accent. Real talk.
Fuck you.
Go ahead, man. I'm waiting.
Fuck you, nigga. I can't do that shit. My service ain't even good enough, bitch.
Yeah, and that's
But
the
see,
thing
look.
about
See that
blacks.
that explains it though. See, that's why you would say a Black American, because a lot of Black Americans have been here for so long that you have to distinguish them from the ones that have been here, and then the Africans that actually come across and are immigrants. Because I
yeah, but
dated an Ethiopian for years, and she made clear distinctions that she says, "No, I'm not Black. I'm African." So the
see, but
same
the
It's
thing.
big
It's the
different.
difference
same
It's
is,
over there.
different
That it
cultures.
would
You
be
know
an
what I mean?
umbrella term. It would
wait a
be an
minute though.
umbrella term because over there they have distinctions of, well, I'm from this country. I'm originally from this country. It would be the
Let
same
me just
exact
make a
thing.
quick point though. And I understand what he said or what he's saying. The difference is, and it's unfortunate, a lot of Black people in America don't know what country they're from as far as like when they trace back. I mean, they're from America, they're here, North America, they're here, they're American, North American, right? But the difference is like a lot of the Black people in the UK or African, whichever term they want to use. They know because they came over there from a specific country. But and I mean, I don't want to open up a can of worms, but all I'm saying is a lot of people here don't know what specific country they came from. You know,
That's
their
racist.
Yeah,
That's
not at all.
racist as
Not
fuck,
at all. You're absolutely right, country.
Shut
And
the fuck up. Go ahead, Pete.
man.
I'm
yeah,
just
you're absolutely right, country. And to that point, like black people here in America had to come up with their own culture. So it's like we're culturally different than like any other group of black people. So when black people say that now, everybody's like the foundational black American. That's kind of like what they're referring to. It's just like we're kind of like a unique black people with a different culture because we had to, come up in America. Like got stripped of our language, stripped of culture, stripped of our name, stripped of fucking everything. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I'm just bringing up a point. I'm not trying to make anything, negative or cause an argument or nothing like that. But there's just a little bit of a difference, unfortunately.
But then that's an interesting connotation the way they do it in the UK country, because he's basically saying if you're just black, period, you're called Black British. So they're not even putting your ethnicity in front of the British. You're just all lumped together as one. Whereas here, everyone is ethnicity, then American. So it doesn't matter if you're Japanese American, Chinese American, Vietnamese American, Mexican American, fucking Peruvian American. Like they always put ethnicity and then they put American. But over there, apparently it's just, well, everyone is black and everyone is British. So we're just going to call you Black British.
It's because they desegregated us, and we all realize white people stuff's actually pretty lame. They don't
No,
got no
white people make it
seasoning.
that, man.
They
There's just
don't
a
got no
degree of
fucking.
separation
What do they
over
got?
here in
They
North
put
America
holes in
compared to other
drywall.
places.
Yo, white people made the internet.
What's
Shout out to white
awkward,
people.
Calypso?
You know what I'm saying? That shit, the internet shit lit.
Nigga said.
He made the
He said,
internet.
shout out to white people. That's funny, bro.
The funny thing is, though, like, I don't know, like, Fig, did you ever study, like, Black history in college or anything?
I took an African American studies class in college. But I mean, if you black and go to like black schools like I did, like that shit is fucking nailed into you. Like I have a crazy understanding of black history, and it's not just all from school. It's just from having fucking like black grandparents and black people in my family. Just tell you the shit they won't tell you in school. They tell you shit you won't hear in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the stuff that I remember hearing in school, because I did take a same kind of African American studies course when I was in college. It was to find out shit that like you were like, whoa, like what the fuck? I didn't know that. Like it was crazy to find out that a black dude invented the stoplight. You were like,
not only they
like, holy shit.
Bro, the fucking white supremacy was so fucking crazy. They try to paint shit like black people never invented shit. Like,
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like,
the fucking light bulb for real. Like the
I
the light bulb.
ancestors who were dark brown skin, jet black hair, Native American, and or etc. And they were classified in census records as white. And I'm like going, no, they weren't. I know for a fact they weren't. I got a picture of them. Like no. They weren't white, but they were listed as white. I'm like going, okay, what the fuck?
Well, the crazy thing, country, is that like I don't know if you've seen, there are times where like when you're filling out like certain applications and they're asking you for like what you are ethnically, they will literally say Hispanic white.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, Hispanics are not white. They have Spanish blood, but they are not white. White is technically considered anything that is Anglo, like whether it's English, whether it's fucking Irish, Welsh. That is supposed to be what is considered white. So it's funny to hear them. It's funny to hear them say Hispanics are white. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't. I've been resisting that for the last 43 years. I would always put other. Back when you would have to do a census for certain jobs, like I had to do a census for my security license, arm license, other jobs I had, they would, ask you to put down, and it's like, huh? Like, nah, I'll put other, and I would literally write Kryptonian, other / Kryptonian.
This
Some of
nigga,
those
shut the
jobs,
fuck up, bro.
I'm not playing, bro. Like, what the fuck y'all doing? Y'all trying to fudge the numbers or something? Fuck out of here, bro. If I go by, if I went by the game that they played, because remember, I'm a first generation American. My lineage is not here. If I went by the game that y'all playing over here, I would have to qualify as a mulatto of some kind. I would have to, because of what Big said, the one drop rule, I think it is, right? Because if my mother's father qualifies as a black man based on the rules set by this country and the game that they play, and I am her child, I don't really know what that would make me. There's no Caucasians in my family. There's nobody from Europe. You got to go back a few hundred fucking years to find the nearest European, if there is one. So what would that make me? Right?
If you want to speak Spanish, you could pass.
Yeah, but that's just based on the language. Where is the nearest Spaniard to me, Fig? Where is he, 400 years ago? Where is he?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, you don't sound like you spit when you speak Spanish.
Vosotros. I don't say vosotros. Vamos para la calle. If I were Argentinian, maybe. But nah, like this is not gonna work, fam. And then once again, I always call it a game that they play, because this is all shit y'all made up. You made this up. This is not real. Like, yeah, this is all words and shit and games and rules. This like Monopoly or something. Like, yeah, y'all made the rules. I don't gotta fucking go by this dumbass shit. Caucasian, like, and once again, it's nothing against Caucasians, but based on the rules, the context that I see that y'all use for shit, well, that you're not describing me. The nearest European to me would have to be what, 400 or 500 years ago? Does that qualify?
It shouldn't.
It doesn't make sense. Shout out to Donald Banks. I was born in Dar
es Salaam.
El Diablo, este tipo.
That's Tanzania, Jules.
Yo, who are you, Ignacio? Who are you? Tanzania. Been there since age, and my friend told me I am real African American. LOL. I'm an African who is now an American. Yeah, like a lot of this stuff. It's see, people don't tend to think of America as being a young nation, but it very much is. That even today is still forming. We haven't been around as long as the Italians, as the Brits, we literally haven't. Like, nah, we haven't. And we're we're very much a melting pot. Upon the inception of this country, it was already diverse. It was already a mixed group of people. So it's like, yeah, it's still forming. That's why a lot of the shit that goes on here, fam, honest to God, is made up. And as soon as you start realizing, yo, this shit made up, you ain't gonna get in your feelings about it. Like, nah, this shit made up, dog. Fuck, you want me to put down that I'm a white guy? Well, my dick says otherwise, and I ain't hating on nobody. I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't think that. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, I just put down I'm black.
I put I'm Mexican on the shit. That's what I put.
You're a piece of shit.
Listen, bro, why must I be like that? Why must I push the crack? This shit, it's all shit. It's all a construct. As soon as you stop caring about that shit, the happier you'll be, because it's all a fucking construct. That's all it is. You're trying to fudge the numbers. But I will say that I noticed the Salvadorians really go for that shit. I noticed that there were Central Americans who go for that shit. It's the Caribbean folk who push back. The South and Central Americans, they go for that shit. The Argentines, the Salvadorians, I've noticed, they really go for that shit. Being classified. And then, I don't know. I guess if that's how you feel, but based on the letter of the law and the definitions and all that bullshit, you shouldn't, but you know, go ahead, whatever. It don't mean shit to me. You know?
You mean that they think they're white?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. They go for that shit. Like they abide by it.
Oh,
From what I have
especially the
seen.
fucking Argentinians. That's for damn sure.
But
Well, the Argentines actually got even though they're mixed, they got Italian.
that's what I was gonna
mixed in with
say.
them.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. That there's a like it's not about condoning or condemning, but it's like, well, I could see why they would think that. You know, that you're much closer to your European predecessors than us island folk. Like, yeah, like y'all not that. Y'all look like and sound like Italians that speak Spanish. People ain't gonna pick up on it unless you speak Spanish. But if you hear an
Yeah.
Argentine talk, you sound like an Italian that's speaking la cache. Vamos para la cache.
Che, boludo.
Maravilla. Caubella. All
I
that
used
bullshit.
to work with a fucking Argentinian. I always used to trip out on his Spanish. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it sounds like you're watching a fucking play. Like,
Yeah.
what is this, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Niggas singing to you and shit.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to motherfucking El Cagón. Damn, so Hitchens wasn't sick? Well, yo, bro, that was bullshit. Like, I was about to do a video segment about that, but that all turned out to be bullshit. That dude chopped up that video to make it sound like Hitchens said that. I still don't believe Hitchens was sick, by the way. Like, nah, you just knew Duarte was gonna beat your ass, and you came up with a reason to get out of there. Because, yo, look, one thing I said was true. I said this. Go back and listen. Why go to Golden Boy to get your ass beat by Duarte when you could go to ZUFFA and fight some bums? Because I knew that's what it was. Like, yo, this dude got an offer from somebody else. That's what it was. He only took the Duarte fight because he didn't have a choice. As soon as another option ended up on the table, he went with that. And look at where he bought the fight. He bought the fight on ZUFFA. Lindolfo probably not going to beat him, high key. Lindolfo probably not going to beat him.
Yeah, so he's got to
I
move
don't
up
like.
then, right?
I think Duarte would have beat him, but Lindolfo, if you seen his last 2-3 fights, nah,
Yeah, Lindolfo ain't it.
he ain't it, bro.
Yeah,
First time I saw
he's kind of
Lindolfo,
mid.
first time I saw him, it was on ESPN. It was like a movie, bro. It was like the first round. He was getting his ass whooped, and this fucking lady said his name in the crowd, Lindolfo. And I don't know. He heard that shit, and he just turned up and just started beating the fuck out this dude. It was
This
crazy.
guy.
I was like, wow.
This nigga thinks it's an anime out here.
Lindolfo.
Yeah, he just snapped out of it, bro. I don't know who that bitch
Fig,
is.
you watch a lot of anime, bro?
The shit is, I seen his last fight. It was in Mexico. He got knocked down in the fight, and he just looked like shit, bro.
Yeah, he barely survived that shit.
They gave him the fight too.
Yeah, and I'm like, see, Hitchens could handle him because he not just gonna be on him on like Duarte. Not only is Duarte a pressure guy, but I think that dude is juicing. Like, motherfucker not gonna tell me nothing. Like, that dude is juicing, and it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's a lot of guys juicing. You just another one. But Duarte would have got him. Oh yeah, Duarte would have got him. Lindolfo, nah, I don't see it. I don't think he gonna beat Hitchens.
So what gave it away, Jules? That Duarte was juicing the Lou Ferrigno muscles.
Bro, the Luca, yo, my God, like, wasn't he? Is it my imagination, or was he not at 35 once? Wasn't he at 35?
Yeah, he was at 35. But what I'm saying is that motherfucker's built like a goddamn bodybuilder, not a boxer. It's crazy.
He's big as shit. He's got back knee, and he throws punches and bunches from round 1 to round 12. He throws like, yo, what is this dude cardio, bro? Like, did this dude inhale fucking creatine? This dude don't get tired. And
Yeah.
There was a dramatic change in him. It was not a dramatic change, but you could see an enhancement from before he fights Ryan to after he fights Ryan. He fights Ryan, he loses. He's a fucking machine after that, bro. He's a machine.
He fought really good against Ryan himself. He was big as shit in that fight.
He takes bumps of creatine.
Shout out to bumps of creatine, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, fucking Hitchens. He's going to ZUFFA. That kind of tells you that ZUFFA's failing, though. This is the big signing. Hitcherson Richens. Well,
So
I think
Brandon Lee
No,
wasn't
I'm good.
impressive
I'm
enough.
glad. I hope he goes over there and gets completely irrelevant, bro. Like I
no.
hope we're done
Listen, are
with
you
that fuck boy.
bro? Listen, real talk. Are you ready to have Richardson Hitchens on your Sunday night?
Lindolfo, bro.
Lindolfo, bro. It's not really going to get interesting as far as acquisitions until the next Olympic Games. That's going to be really interesting to see
What?
which blue chip prospects go with which promotion. That's going to be interesting.
Where the
Yeah,
fuck is
that'll be a
Andrew
good watch.
Ruiz? Andrew Ruiz hasn't fought in what 15 years.
Villain,
Well,
he's
and
too busy making pizzas now.
Man, I'm just
I
saying, that
believe
guy, is he going to come back? Is he done?
Villain, I believe, shout out to Villain who hasn't been here in a while. Villain, I
Yeah.
think the reason that Andy didn't sign to them is the same reason that Jarrell didn't sign to them, except Andy's a fucking moron. See, Jarrell's last 2 fights were both on Saudi shows. So for Jarrell, it wouldn't make sense to make a long-term commitment to Zuffa when they're still using me on these kinds of shows and I'm getting these kinds of purses. For Jarrell, it doesn't make sense to go over there. The problem with Andy is you haven't fought since August of 2024.
Yeah.
Jarrell fought since then. Like you ain't fought since
Twice. He's fought twice since then.
you ain't fought since like bro. What do you think you missing out on out here, bro? It's nothing going on out here. Not for you. You need to
Did you
go
guys-
to Zuffa.
Did you guys see that Jared Anderson posted it on his social media that he's coming back or he's in camp or he's training or whatever? That dude's super irrelevant now. I mean, that dude's career's got to be over. What are they going to do with him?
What they're gonna do with him is they're gonna have Queensbury co-promote him, and he's they're not gonna say it, and maybe he doesn't even know it, but he's meat now. He's meat for the Brits to beat up on.
Yeah.
You go to Queensbury as an American heavyweight. It's clearly not because they want to launch you into the next fucking stratosphere, bro. They want somebody for Fabio and Moses to beat the shit out of. That's what it is, bro. Top Rank can't do nothing with you now, bro. You know what I mean? So hey, fuck it, Frank. You want to use him? Go ahead. You go with Frank, bro.
Jules,
So
real
he
talk.
became gatekeeper.
Does he beat Johnny Fisher or Dave Allen?
Okay, I'll tell you that he beats Johnny Fisher. I say that with confidence. I cannot say with confidence he beats Dave Allen. I cannot say
Wow.
that. I cannot say that.
That's
Because Dave-
crazy.
So he became a
Dave-
gatekeeper. He never even got a contender. He just went right to gatekeeper status.
The shit is that Dave has heavyweight power. His technique is just shit. Like it's just shit, bro. But if he hits you, yeah, he has that. Look, Makhmud. He had Makhmudov shit boxing. Big ass Makhmudov had to box Dave Allen. You see, if he hit Jared with one of them overhand joints, yeah, Jared might be on Staten Island, bro. Might be on Staten Island.
Get launched.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure what would make Jerry Anderson better. I mean, he don't got a lot of power, but
Nothing. He doesn't have the
Retiring.
mentality.
Nah. I'll tell you what his real problem is, and I'm not trying to be the Teddy Atlas of the shit, but his real problem is he doesn't want to be there. That's really what it is. Like, it's not his technique, it's not his build, it's not even that he doesn't have power. It's that he doesn't really want to do this. You can't have a fight when you don't feel like fighting. You know, there's jobs you could do. There's jobs you could do that when you don't really want to do them. But that's not one. Like, nah, you can't have a fight if you don't feel like fighting.
Yeah, you can't half-ass it in boxing. You could get your ass beat or worse.
Well,
Did you remember the last fight?
Mentality. It's his mentality. That's it.
Do you remember that last fight that he had that against that club level fighter? You could see after the third round, you could just see the amount of disinterest he had in being in that ring. You could tell it was literally like clocking into a 9 to 5. He hated being there.
He literally went back to his corner and said, "Yo, I want to be here all night." I remember that fight. He was fighting a part-time boxer that worked as a roofer from.
That was like in
Italy,
the second ring. It was like in the second round. He said that.
And that his real problem is because there was a time where he was a dynamic boxer, and I don't even think not having power is his biggest problem, because Justice Hooney doesn't have power like that. There's heavyweights out there, they don't really have power like that, but they can make it work with their agility and their speed. His real problem is just he doesn't really want to do this. He's now at the point where the job is really getting difficult. That well, when you're coming up and you're fighting guys on a chicken gizzard circuit, it's very easy to believe the hype, your own hype. But now that you're fighting, you're climbing up the ranks and you're dealing with those guys. I always said this about Jared. That's the one guy that I feel the matchmakers at Top Rank failed, because they kept matching him against undersized heavyweights when this is not going to get him ready for those 6'4", 6'5", 78, 80-inch wingspan guys. Like, it's not. He fought a Dominican guy. He fought a Dominican heavyweight. Couldn't have been more than 5'11". It's like, well, that ain't what you're gonna see up there.
You remember when he fought Charles Martin, who actually had height and length, and you saw how that went for him.
And Charles is the one who really exposed him. But if you looked at the matchmaking before Charles, George Arias,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, like he was fighting guys that he would rarely fight a guy that was above 6'3", is what I noticed. I'm like, yeah, this ain't not gonna work, because when you get to the top, look, AJ's about 6'5", Fury's about 6'7", Wilder's about 6'6", 6'7", Joseph Parker's about 6'4". That once you get to that upper echelon, even a guy like Makhmudov would be a credible threat to Jared Anderson, because he kept pulling back in straight lines. That you're getting away with that with the little guys fighting tall, because you keep fighting these unusually small heavyweights. But if you pull back in a straight line with a taller guy, you see what's happening in Charles Martin fight. He's smacking him on the way out. Like, bing, you're not supposed to do that. And when you finally started fighting guys that could capitalize off that mistake, he's crying in front of Roy. I'm 23. Like, well,
Hey, Jules, I've been catching up on the news. I saw that the Ali Act passed the House and is going to the Senate. Is there a world where you think Zuffa's waiting to really unload and once everything's passed?
well, don't. I'll tell you this, Drew. Don't get too caught up in the side stuff, because Zuffa's success is really contingent upon who they can acquire. That is the most paramount thing for them. What fighters can they bring to their stable? It's all going to boil down to the boxing, bro. Don't, like, it's cool that Mark Shapiro and the things and the legislation and Donald Trump and, all that's awesome. They're still selling boxing, Drew. And that's what it's all going to come down to. Like, okay, what can you do? What can you do? Who can you acquire? What fights can you put on? You know what I mean? That's really what it's all going to boil down to. And that's why I'm ambivalent about how successful this could be when, they got a squad over there on DAZN now. They got a squad. They got Frank, Eddie, Bob, Oscar. They got a squad over there.
They do.
Bro.
But what do we know about American boxing? What
What
do we know about American boxing fans? They don't spend money on shit.
That's true. But what
Lately, in the last 5 years.
No. But Drew, what does Zuffa have that will attract them? Because they don't pay for shit, bro. Like, the Americans really don't pay for shit. The eights in the hole that I see that Zuffa kind of has, that is kind of a good thing. You're on a platform that hosts about 79 million people, many of which are not boxing fans. So theoretically, if you can market your cards to that casual audience, you could I don't know what the likelihood of them watching your shit is. I really don't. But you have something that DAZN doesn't have. DAZN, if you have DAZN, and I've said this a million times, unless you have DAZN, you're not going to know what's going on that app. It's too insulated. There's no spillover. You can't reach anybody that doesn't already have this app. Whereas Zuffa, at least you're on a platform that's big enough that maybe you could get some people that don't normally watch boxing. They don't normally watch it, to pay attention just because it's there. It's there. 79 million people, right? Most of them are there for movies on Paramount and TV shows. But if you got, some guys that getting their ass kicked, getting fucked up real bad, maybe they'll watch it. Big maybe though, Drew. Big
Yeah.
fucking
No,
maybe.
I could tell they're
Big
counting on the
fucking maybe.
crossover of like, will WWE fans go watch because Ryo was in attendance or he's in attendance at a UFC? Like, they're counting on some of the crossover.
Yeah.
And Real Talk is gay because he's from Texas, so if he could fuck off.
Yeah.
I feel like if they need to utilize like the WWE, the writers there, if they can get like some cool fucking. If you remember like 24/7, like if they had like something that like got the people familiar with the fighters or invested emotionally in the fighters in some type of way, like a story, a build up, some good writing. I'm not sure how they could do it, but that
Yeah,
could
it's
work.
not easy. It's like when I see what they have, it's like it's just not easy right now. You know what I mean? A good thing that they got going on that kind of lends itself to people even looking in Zuffa's direction is the rivalry with Eddie. That's actually a good thing. I actually believe they should make that fight. When has that ever happened, Drew?
I want that.
Promoter.
We got denied Eddie versus Ellerby.
Right? Ellerby chickened out, bro. He fucking retired. He let his beard get gray.
But I do like that Bob Arum's back in the fold because I do like the idea of Bob Arum's guys. Not every week, Jules, not every month, but once a quarter, cross promotional matchups. So we're like, okay, my guy versus your guy. What's up? And if the zone's quality control can do that, that'll help.
Yeah, and the zone will. It's just that what those fights are going to be, Drew. Those are going to be pay-per-views.
Yeah,
that,
anytime
right?
Top Rank versus Golden Boy or Top Rank versus Matchroom.
Those are going to be pay-per-views, and I don't look at that as a good thing. That's where DAZN is fucking up. That you can push this shit all you fucking want, dog. The same people you're asking for money that didn't have it before, they still don't have it, and they're still not going to spend it. $400 for a bit of entertainment is a lot. At what like. Yeah, Drew can afford that. Drew, he's corporate, he sells cocaine, wears a cock ring. He's got a lot of money for a lot of things. He can afford that.
What does cock rings and cocaine have to do with each other? Please connect that.
Is that Villain?
That's fucking Villain, man.
Where the fuck you been, homo?
Listen, Villain It's very simple. Have you ever known a poor man to wear a cock ring?
That's true. That is an aristocratic thing to do. To have a cock
That's
ring.
classy. That's classy shit, bro.
Hey, Villain, did you know there's a crystal cock on this show now?
It's crystal
cock.
It tells me things, bro.
No. If it was aristocratic, you'd be wearing a monocle and the cock ring at the same time. Okay,
he wears you wear the monocle with the cock ring. It's an ensemble.
Do you have to eat brownie stuff?
What you're telling me is Abdullah Mason versus Robert Mortaya is going to be a fucking pay-per-view.
Yes, sir.
That is exactly
fucking what the fuck, Jules? Come on, man.
Look, it's good and bad, but it's just that the pitfall of that 400 plus low end $400 is a lot to ask of ordinary people to pay for a bit of entertainment. Think about it. Who online do you, out of all those people that you see every day on bots and Twitter, which one of them do you think would pay that? $400?
That's more than Netflix. That's more than Netflix for the year.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised half of them can pay their phone bill, let alone pay for a pay-per-view.
Are you talking about Brim?
I didn't say that. I'm saying that a majority.
How do you get dragged into this?
Because Brim blocked Villain on Twitter.
Why?
Tell him, Villain.
Why? It's a stupid story. He was protecting his boy Sanders, the quarterback, and how he was gonna be the second coming of Christ. And I was like, listen, man, we can't be coming hard for this guy. He's a backup. He's not gonna do shit. And then it just involved into some sort of racial thing. Yeah. And after that, I was like, okay, it can't be about sports. It had to become a Martin Luther King thing. And I was like, okay, I'm done with that.
Okay, listen, fucking Brim, man. He's fucking pure entertainment, man. But yeah, that Drew is just not real. There's no way you could sell me on the idea that you're gonna ask ordinary people to pay $400 at any point in the year, and they're gonna do it. No, They're just
So that's what's
not,
going to help
bro.
Zuffa. But so what you're saying,
Yeah.
Jules? So any unification fight from 130 up might be a pay-per-view.
Yes, absolutely.
Fuck.
Any cross promotional fight. Let me like, what do you think? They're gonna give away Boots versus Zayas if they make that? No, that's straight up pay-per-view. Straight up. Straight up, yeah. $60. They have a promise to keep, Drew. 12 plus pay-per-view events a year. Oh, look at all the money they're saving me.
At least I'm getting AJ Fury on Netflix, though.
Right? At least we're getting Canelo on Netflix. At least we're getting fucking Maypac on Netflix. That's what's gonna hold the zone back. That this is not going to work. Americans are not going to give you 400. They're not. I'm telling you, they're not. Very few of them can afford to do this at any point in the year where it doesn't hurt them. $400 is actually a lot to ask for a bit of entertainment, even if it does cover the year. That's still a lot, dog.
Segueing into entertainment, can we worry about the super chats? Because there's a very important super chat I think needs to be read.
Drew just wants Dana to unload in.
On his back.
Oh, what the fuck?
When Real Talk can show me he could put up 300 on the bench, then I'll take him serious.
Oh shit!
Because I got my
shit.
footage.
Oh shit! Listen, man. Y'all flat bench motherfuckers better than me, dog. I'm 43. I ain't trying to hurt my chest. Fuck that. Catch me on the incline press and the supine press. I have.
But I weigh 250. Shouldn't I at least be able to put up 300 if I weigh 250?
I mean, look. Honestly, that's even for 250, Drew. That's actually an impressive bench. That's a very few people can bench 315. Honestly, bro.
How much gear are you cycling though? That's the more important question.
I haven't been on gear in over a year.
Nah,
okay,
listen,
well then no.
This guy's shooting. Don't listen to him, villain. He's shooting.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
He's been shooting TRT into his fucking eyes, bro. This guy's like,
bro. I heard a rumor. He was pulling bull steam and directly in his penis.
You know what I'm saying?
Dark Giggler.
You know what I'm saying? But real shit. They're like, yeah, that's Drew. If you're benching that, that's really that. I'm impressed. Like, that's an impressive bench, man. That's an impressive bench. But yeah, man, like
I can only do it twice.
That's a motherfucker. That's more than a lot of other motherfuckers. Say it again, Fig.
Yeah, I could go for Barboza Delarte.
Nah, I don't want to see Barboza do anything, bro. If anything,
even with Duarte, like stylistically, that's dope.
Nah, it's yeah, Duarte will make it.
So motherfucking Josh Kelly unifying with Xander's a fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
$79.99, baby. Send the money.
Understand, Drew. If they charged us pay-per-view at the end of last year during the holiday season to see Inoue stay busy with Pablo Picasso, they'll charge us for any old shit, bro.
Fuck that. They charged us to watch fucking Moses knock out Dillian White in 30 seconds.
If they want my money, they need to get Danny Garcia out of retirement. I'll pay to see Danny Garcia get knocked out.
What did Danny Garcia do to you?
You see the bell bottoms he wore? You see the bell bottoms he wore?
He's fighting this weekend. I'm gonna go live for that one. I like the Franklin fight. I do like that fight because that dude's tough. He never been knocked out. I like that fight. I'll go live for that one.
He went 12 solid with Dillian White. I don't think he looked too terribly bad against Joshua. He's a very serviceable heavyweight.
He's solid. He's solid. Like, if I would say if Moses knocks him out, because the guy's never been stopped. If Moses knocks him out, if he do him like he been doing, yeah, I would honestly be impressed by that. Like, yeah, this dude hits too fucking hard.
Him out. I don't see what the heck Franklin's really going to be able to do.
Well, yeah, but it's just because he been in there with two guys. Like, we could say, look, yeah, Dillian is shot and all the shit, right? But he do hit hard, and he didn't fucking knock Moses out. He didn't knock him down. No, you didn't. You know what I mean? AJ hit hard, but they couldn't get rid of that dude. So,
you notice how Jules been saying multiple times he's 43. It's coincidence that the U.S. Army extended the enlistment age to 42.
Yeah.
And Jules keeps saying I'm 43.
My ass alone, bro.
The army.
Bro, leave my ass alone, bro. I ain't going to Iran, bro. All right, them bitches don't shave over there. Pussy
I can
smelling like halal.
love
Fuck that
seeing
shit.
you. Love you seeing crawling over some sand, shooting a weapon.
Mm,
But
You know
that's
what I'm
your
saying?
future.
Fuck that shit. I'm 43. I'm only 43. I'm with Jared Anderson.
He's gonna be like that Pauly Shore movie in the army now.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
shit. Oh shit. But yeah, man, like that's what's gonna hold him back, Drew, is all those fucking pay-per-views, man. Like nobody's gonna buy those shits, bro.
Did you
Even
see Merrigan deleted his Twitter?
bro, he didn't listen, he didn't delete his Twitter because I saw what he did is he deleted every tweet from this year and every tweet from last year. Make of that what you will. I don't
Why
know
do you think
what
he
the
would do? Why would he do that? In your opinion?
well, I mean, he's obviously trying to delete evidence of something.
Oh, okay.
Why would you do that? Why would you? You're cleaning house.
He's trying to
Okay,
hide
why?
shit.
Trying to
Hiding
hide
shit.
shit. Now, could it be that you're trying to hide shit so when arbitration rolls around it doesn't you don't make Oscar's case? Because that could be it. That why would Rick Merrigan go on his Twitter and literally delete every single tweet from this year and last year? What would be the point? Maybe it's because it constitutes what Oscar is saying about you, that you're working against him. Could be that. But you know, I don't know. Virgil's not on the poster, so that just gives me the impression. What is he not with Golden Boy anymore? He's not on the poster. For those that didn't see it, for those of you that just joined, find Virgil on that fucking poster.
I have
He
a
ain't
better
on there.
chance of finding words Waldo than I do Virgil.
But
Saying he must
didn't De La Hoya win that? He won that arbitration, or he won that fight in court, didn't he?
not necessarily. There's still a arbitration meeting thing or whatever that they got to do. But you know, Oscar's in a strong position now. Definitely, he's in a strong position now because he has it established. I do have a broadcaster, motherfucker. Your whole thing was I don't got a deal, so you get to leave. Well, guess what? I got a deal. Now what? You know.
Do we know how? Do we know how long the contract Virgil has with Oscar with Golden Boy?
That we don't know. That we don't know. Shout out to Real Talk. I'm proud to be a felon. No service for me. Fucking asshole. What we do know is Golden Boy's deal is only for 2 years, where Matchroom's deal is for 5 years. What that tells me is you skating on thin ice over there, fellas.
What
You
about
got
Top
two.
Rank's dare? Do they say how long that is? Sorry to cut you off.
They didn't say how long it is, but being honest with you, I believe it's the same as Golden Boys. I do. Maybe a little longer because they have a deeper stable. They do bring to the table a lot more promising fighters: Abdullah Mason, Richard Torres, Xander Zayas, Emmanuel Navarrete. They do have a deeper stable than Golden Boy. But I don't imagine it's a long-term deal. Like I feel like they're in a fill-out period. They're gonna see how this works and see if they can make it work, and then make a bigger decision.
That means that we're not going to see Top Rank on the Hallmark Channel anymore, right?
Pretty much, yeah. No more Top Rank on Tubi.
Okay, good.
They're just gonna keep the catalog on the fast channels. What they're gonna do is they're gonna keep the catalog on the fast channels. So if you want to watch Cotto versus Yuri Foreman, just hit the Roku channel, and you
I
can watch.
assume I have to get on my MySpace page to watch any Japanese boxing. Is that accurate?
You gotta get on Black Planet to watch all the old Tim Bradley fights and Skonex for the Pacquiao fights. Remember Skonex? Y'all remember Skonex?
Yeah. What about are there running any fights on AmishLove.com where Amish couples unite? Who do I see on there?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Fucking, but yeah, they're at least now they got to get a second broadcast partner. I'm still waiting for that, and they're not really gonna start doing cards on DAZN, which I don't see anybody talking about until the summer. That's when they're gonna do their first couple of cards on the platform is over the summer. It's gonna be a while. We got April, May, right? It's gonna be a while.
I do think Top Rank's going to bring more metric to the zone than fucking Golden Boy. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. Fellas, some of you that don't be here all the time, what y'all think about that Zayas and Boots? Is that really gonna happen?
I would love to see that fight happen. Unfortunately, I think Boots wins that fight.
You think Boots wins that fight? Okay.
Yeah.
Drew wins
Yeah.
that fight.
You know, this is sacrilegious for me, but I got the handsome Puerto Rican. He's just in his flow. He's in his Hector Lavoe stage, Jules. He's feeling himself. Bad Bunny, all the bitches.
Hector Lavoe, bro. Fucking cocaine and wavy hair.
I
Fig
don't
is
know
winning
if
that
that's gonna
fight.
happen. I mean, the way Boots is moving.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
with you.
change my pick from Xander to Boots. Like, I thought about it, and I was like, I looked at the Karen fight. I was like, all right, the first fight, Karen did make him look silly, but I had Boots winning every round of that fight. And then the second fight, I think I scored it like 8-4. But he looked kind of weight drained, so I think him moving up is like the perfect time. I think.
But let me ask y'all this. When is the last time a Matchroom or a PBC fighter beat a top-ranked fighter in this type of fight?
Never.
That's a good
Or
point.
damn near never.
I mean, you see what Emmanuel just did to Nunez, man. He fucked him up, man. He fucked him
How did Emmanuel Navarrete look so good against Nunez, but he struggled, and you could arguably say lost to Suarez?
Villain. Tell him, Jules.
He's got a nutritionist and a strength. He finally hired, after all these years, he finally hired a nutritionist.
He's not eating Twinkies the day before weigh-in now?
No, yeah, he's drinking water and tofu, and he's wiping his ass with leaves. He's the healthiest fucking guy, bro.
No more beer.
Healthy as a horse, bro. He's wiping his ass with aloe vera, right?
That dude was drinking a six-pack on his way to the weigh-in.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, but it made a palpable difference, and yeah, like you know, a lot of guys really don't beat top-ranked fighters, man. Like, if you really look at the record, they don't really beat top-ranked fighters like that. Not really.
Is Suarez ever going to get his rematch? Because they called it a no contest.
No. They ordered it already. Good. Navarrete.
I want to see that fight.
Navarrete, and he's gonna knock him out. Like, I got Navarrete knocking him out. Like, yeah, he ready for the bullshit now.
He destroyed Nunez. It wasn't even a fight. It was over at the third round.
Yeah, that shit was like shocking how easy that was. I was like, damn.
He did him like Valdez, bro.
Yeah,
but that's the same guy. That's the same guy who lost to that Ukrainian fighter who won the silver medalist.
But in fairness, there's very little context when it comes to Dennis Berenchik. I'd seen Dennis Berenchik off and on throughout the years. Dennis is actually a good fighter, but because Keyshawn beat the shit out of him, people not
makes
really
him look like
yeah, because Keyshawn he fucked him up, man. Like, he really beat the shit out of him. But Keyshawn is a big, strong kid, man. Like, he was huge at 135, bro. So that's a part of it. That, you know what, Dennis beating Emmanuel by the skin of his teeth is not really an indictment. Like, no, that dude could fight, man. That dude, he's a good fighter, you know. But Keyshawn doing him like that, it's just everybody think he garbage because Keyshawn did him crazy. So yeah, there's that. But that fight is ordered. He has to fight Suarez next. That fight is already ordered. So
is that a paper?
You gotta pay per view for that, bro. You know, you gotta pay extra. Fight's too good. Listen, on that note, I'm fucking going to sleep. I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.
Night, fellas. Good night,
everybody.
Hey.